Yes.
So when the invaders came from the Marquesans or wherever it was in the 12th century, they were not there.
That's right. And the invaders we're talking about, somewhere between the 12th and 15th centuries, there was a big invasion from the south. It was from Tahiti, actually, and apparently with some Samoan warriors also. And they invaded the islands and took over and created an aristocracy. Now, it wasn't overnight. But when I say somewhere between 12 and 1500, the only reason we can base that on is what little we know of what was happening in the Society Islands. Before Cook, there's no dating. Now, you might be able to date when a fire was built through carbon dating, but that doesn't tell who built the fire or whether there was anybody there before that fire was built. So some people say, well, the first Hawaiians arrived in 700 AD because we found a carbon dated fire dated 700 AD. Whoa, wait a second. Okay? That doesn't tell you anything about fires that were washed away by the rains, covered up by lava flows, whatever else. And what about fires you haven't found yet? There's really been hardly any archaeology in the islands. So the fact is, nobody has the slightest idea when the Polynesians first came here. And the Polynesians don't care. Because let's take the Hawaiian language. In the Hawaiian language, I never get tired of saying this, there's no past tense and there's no future tense. They did not celebrate anniversaries. They did not keep historical records. They did not celebrate birthdays. Hey, over and done with, who cares? Okay? Anything interesting, they retained stories about, okay? Because those stories could teach things or they could keep a genealogy alive. But as far as when something happened, we don't know when Kamehameha was born. They give some estimates based on what he looked like when the first drawings were made of him or the first descriptions were made by merchant marines, but nobody really knows. They didn't keep dates, not important to them. So when you start to say, well, when did something happen in ancient times? When did Huna come here? When did the people come from the stars? When did the continent sink? Nobody has any idea.